What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? I'm your friendly neighborhood redstoner here, and today I want to start my first YouTube video. I want to tell you guys a little bit about my channel. This channel is going to basically have everything you ever need to know about redstone that I can compile for you, that I've learned and that I am able to replicate. So what's going to be on here is not only a bunch of physics and informational tutorials, but I'm also going to be making a bunch of stuff that helps you kind of use practical applications, so item sorting systems, things like that. Things that help build games, like rock, paper, scissors machines, Connect 4 games, stuff like that is also good. And I also make puzzle maps that I'm going to try uploading whenever I can, so I'll definitely tell you guys when I make puzzle maps, and you guys can check that out, and I'll even make videos showing the redstone behind that. Now this is my first video, so I wanted to start off with something pretty basic. So this is Tutorial 1 Redstone Basics. This is for people who never used redstone before or just don't know all the physics of redstone. This is no gates, no logic, so it's for very basic beginners. But as you can see, we got basic physics, and we're going to cover how redstone works, how repeaters work, and then how torches work. And we're just going to go ahead and pile up right here. So as you can see, this is just a long stream of demos that I've already pre-made that we can go ahead and talk about. And again, we're going to look at redstone, repeaters, torches. So this is our redstone section. Now, redstone works basically along this line. I'm going to show you my organizational system. Red is inputs. So every input I have is going to be red. Iron is where redstone is going to be placed. And black with the lamp is going to be our outputs. So as you can see, this is a very basic thing just to show you the physics of buttons and pressure plates and all that. But pretty much they'll just come out of this block that's being powered, and actually if you look downwards, it'll actually transmit signal downwards. It's not connected to the rest of this, and it's just allowing that lamp to turn on. Now a lot of the things about physics, the first thing you have to understand is that redstone works by powering a block. The lever that the block is attached to, or the block that the lever is attached to, it gets powered, and then that will send redstone signal out in all the directions. So it'll send it outwards. And it's a little bit of a complicated idea, but you definitely get the hang of it after you do redstone for a while. So now, we're going to look at the length of redstone. Now, as you can see, this is a pretty long line. This is exactly 15 blocks on this stream. And redstone only travels 15 blocks at any given time. So as you can see, it barely just reaches that. But this lamp is actually one block to the right. As you can see, it does not get powered, while this one does. So we need something to extend the signal, and we actually have our first thing that we're going to go into with a main section, repeaters. So repeaters are used to extend the signal. If you go in from the back section right here, it'll have a little arrow showing you the flow. But if you come in for this back section, this redstone signal is pretty weak, as you can see, because it looks like it's about out. It'll actually restart the signal back at 15 whenever it gets an output, and that allows the signal to be transferred. So as you can see, it allows signal to be moved. Now, a few things about redstone. If we power it, you can look, it can go up blocks. It'll climb up the side of blocks and climb back down. But it will not work if blocks are breaking the corners. If I break this, you can see it will now transmit and allow it. But if you have corners right here, you can actually cut off redstone. So it gets to be a bit of an annoying thing sometimes if you want to have hidden redstone, but it also gives you a lot of great physics that we can learn from and learn what to do with, because it allows you to make things super compact. Now, we're going to go into repeaters, because that is one of the primary things I want to look at. Now, repeaters, as you can see, they can get signal from the back, but they can also receive signals from powered blocks. So you can see right here, if it's coming right out of the block, it will get powered. Now, what you also need to know is that repeaters can send signals through blocks. What's happening is this block is getting powered, and then any of the main directions that it's in, it is sending a signal. It's actually even sending a signal downwards, and that's getting powered, but it will send a signal outwards, and it'll send it through this block, and that's how it's reaching right there. Another cool thing about redstone repeaters is that they can have delays added, and this is measured in the amount of ticks. The server runs on so many ticks per second, and the number of ticks it takes something to happen is the delay. So everything, all the redstone changes work on delays. That's why sometimes it takes machines a while to calculate. But as you can see right here, we can change the delay, and the one on the left consistently turns on and off before the other because I made the delay different. You can just right click it to change the delay, but this is the shortest delay and this is the longest delay. And again, about redstone repeaters, they're great for making lines right next to each other. because a lot of times you don't want to mix lines, you want to keep them separate, and because they only receive signal from the back and they only send it to the front, they make great for sending signals down lines. And something about this is if you actually want to alternate redstone, 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 and just repeater, if you keep in this diagonal pattern, you can actually create them a lot faster. Look at the time it takes to delay that, and the time for that, it is much shorter. So you definitely want to be having both of those. I'm actually turning them both on. I'm getting off at the same time. You see that one stayed on much longer. So this is a much faster way, and you usually want to have less ticks because it's less lag intensive on your computer, and it doesn't take as long. And in Redstone, the speed that a machine works requires a lot on its efficiency. So we're also going to look at how you can send signals downwards. If you power this, if this redstone right here is powered, it's actually powering this block. And what the code for Minecraft does, once this is powered, it means that this redstone repeater can get a signal out of it. So you can transfer signals downwards to repeaters, which I do a lot for a lot of physics. And again, this is just another kind of overview of what repeaters do. As you see, it doesn't send any signal to the side, but it will send just forward. But if it's powering a block, the block will send a signal out in all main directions. And you can even receive signals from redstone blocks if a piece of redstone is powering it. As you can see right here, redstone can't receive the signal from other pieces of redstone, but repeaters can get signals out of blocks. So if you have this on the corner of your wall or something, it's a good way to kind of hide redstone around corners and stuff and keep it all looking underground. Now, we just covered all repeaters. This was our repeater section. We're now going to get into the redstone torch section, and that's going to be the rest of the section right here. Now, I told you red is inputs, iron is redstone streams, and black is outputs. Gold is going to be our gates. And gates are very important. They're basically called logic gates, and they allow us to actually make different outputs with the inputs we give and change all that out. Now, what the first thing this is this inverts the signal. And when I say inverted, I mean when you see this is off, this actually has a stream that is on. But when this is on, this actually turns the torch off. Any block that the torch is attached to, if it's powered, the torch will turn off. As you see, I put one right here, put one up top, put one on the side. They all turn off. And that means that it can't send a signal. So pretty much whenever it's receiving power, it turns back off. So these are called inverters or NOT gates. And NOT gates are what they're used in electrical engineering terms, but trust me, it's not that complicated. It just means that it turns a signal that is off to on. Now, as you can see, they can actually be on the block, because by putting a lever on this, you power this block, so it's going to turn that torch off. And they can even feed directly into repeaters. Now, a good thing about NOT gates is right before we had our repeaters, we actually used these things called double NOT gates or double inverters. Which pretty much allowed you to extend redstone signals. See how it's off? Well, this being off allows this to be on, and this being on makes this turn off again. So it basically sends an off signal going in and an off signal coming out. And if we flip the lever, it'll actually change. It'll be on, off, on, and that's just because it keeps inverting the signal twice. It's like multiplying by -1 twice. If you have 1 multiplied by -1, it's -1. If you have -1 multiplied by another -1, it turns back into 1. So that's what this is going to allow you to do. Another good physics about redstone torches is just like repeaters, redstone dust will transmit downwards, and because this is feeding out of this block, this will actually receive power along edges like that. So that's a big help with physics that we're going to learn, and that allows us to make this a more compact double NOT gate. As you can see, it has 2 breaks, and this is about as compact as they get. This is what I used all the time back in alpha Minecraft before repeaters were even in business. Now, what you're going to see here is we have 2 double NOT gates, or 2 NOT gates which make a double NOT gate, and as you can see, it works pretty fine, because whenever this torch is on, it makes this stream on, and when this stream is on, this turns off, right? But if this turns on, that means that it is now powering the stream as well. So no matter what, if you turn this on, this will turn off, but it's still receiving signal from here. and that means that it still will not get a signal. Basically, it's saying that this has to be off. So this is like a lock, really. If you have a door that, let's say this is your door on the outside, and whenever you hit a lever to open the door, it'll just open and close. But if you're on the inside, you can lock it by flipping the switch. Then no matter how often people try flipping the switch, it's not going to turn on and off and open the door. It'll only open the door if you allow it to be open. So it acts like locks from the inside of houses and stuff. And I just want to look at the physics of how redstone gets transmitted. As you can see, this redstone torch, it sends out in all cardinal directions. And we're going to click on that again. It just powers in all cardinal directions. It actually powers up and down as well. So it'll transmit down to this block, and it'll go upwards and power this block. And because this block is powered, this redstone stream is on. So that's another big thing about powering blocks that you really just kind of get your mind around. And for the sake of example, this is actually another double NOT gate, because this inverts this torch up here, and it can transmit signals upwards onto blocks where torches are added as well. So as you can see this once I turn this on, it turns that torch off, which allows all these to turn on. And as you can see, this torch can send out in any of the directions, to the sides, through repeaters, and it can turn through the sides and redstone dust too. I just use repeaters for the sake of it. And it can transmit upwards. So this is a good way that if you have a floor and you don't want the redstone torch to be visible, but you do want the redstone dust to be visible for some reason, you can power it without actually seeing the torch. And this method right here is actually how we get the first forms of vertical transmission, going from one torch and just keeps going up. So it'll actually chain. This turns on, turning that off, allowing that to be on, turning that off, allowing that to be on. But if we flip it, that top one is now off. It's just a little laggy because, as you can see, it takes one tick to change this torch, and then change this torch. So every redstone torch you place in this pattern, it actually takes one extra tick. But this is the most compact way to do it. This is a less compact, but more resource efficient, and it takes a lot less time. As you can see, I just use a glowstone torch up there, and it turns on and off. That's pretty much it. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe, and I hope you guys will check out more videos. We're going to be adding our gates soon, and just stay on the lookout for puzzle maps and all that, and fun little games that you can have. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you guys later.